It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
It's time for Show Me the Franchise.
With Thomas and Frederick. With Thomas and Frederick.
Welcome to Show Me the Franchise, the podcast that talks about franchises of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, genres, and types. I am one of your hosts, Tom Stadler, here with Star Command, the man from space. I don't know why I go that far.
Buzz Lightyear?
The shiniest new toy I know.
Now, are you referring to... Oh, so you are referring to toy and not Buzz Lightyear, the actual person.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about Chris Evans as Lightyear. We're talking Tim Allen, ho, ho, ho.
Our favorite.
The toy Buzz Lightyear. Of course, I'm here with Fred Dakin. And, I was actually going to say I have a good one, but I can't really say it for you.
Okay.
You have to say it. You've got a Fred in me.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, that was good. Why didn't I come up with that at first?
Got a Fred in me.
You got a Fred in me.
Wow.
I was doing some Randy Newman a couple weekends ago at some karaoke. Had to bust it out.
Short people?
Short people got no reason.
Is that the one you did?
No, I did. You have a friend in me.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Why don't you do the song that he sings when Buzz tries to fly at a karaoke party?
Like a bird in the sky. You know,
now go sailing. No.
I do love his LA song, or I Love LA, that he sings in Naked Gun. Look at those flowers, look at those trees. Oh, man. We could just talk Randy Newman. I mean, he is the composer on Toy Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he composed some of the... Really gave Pixar their house sound for a while. I think Pixar has a pretty diverse score repertoire now, but I mean, he did Bugs Life, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story.
Yeah.
Great scores.
In fact, I'm going to completely cement this, Fred. Randy Newman is the composer on all 5 of the mainline Toy Story movies. That's pretty incredible when you think about it, and not to the incredible.
Unfortunately, he didn't do an end credit song for the 5th one. They got some no-name to do that.
Oh, what was her name? Like Tyler Swifty or something?
Tyler Swife.
Tyler Swife. Tyler, God, what the hell's her husband's name? Yeah, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Taylor Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that just sounds like 2 first names. I wouldn't want to go by that.
The second
either.
Kelsey has been a part of this franchise. We'll get to it.
Oh, we will. But Fred, of course, we are talking about Toy Story here today. 5th movie just dropped not too long ago. We went and saw it together.
We did.
We go and see movies together sometimes.
I was just thinking about it. It was a good time at the movies. It was intense.
We should talk about our going experience at Toy Story 5 when we get to that.
We will. I'll make it brief. I condensed it, but I'm a proud person.
I will say, Jasmine and I got a little nervous while we were there in the theater with you, but ultimately it all worked out, and everybody ended up having a good time. At the
Not
end of
all
the day.
heroes wear capes. That's all we'll say.
That's very true. But Fred, Toy Story, a franchise that now 30 years old at this point, because the first one came out in 1995.
Yep.
Where did you first encounter Toy Story?
In the movie theater, baby. One of the first movies I've ever seen. I've seen every single one in theaters except for 3.
Really? What happened there?
I was 18, 19.
Oh.
I was that I was a little lost, I feel. I don't know why I didn't go. Doesn't make sense.
Felt like you were too old for Toy Story.
I think it was more external forces making me feel like I was, because I definitely had that phase where like people like tried to make me feel like I wasn't cool, and then I like came out as a butterfly. I was like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, you know, like. So yeah, now I would have seen it, but 3 I did not see, but I saw 1 in theaters. One of my earliest movie-going memories next to seeing Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
Lion King, I was 4, because I think it came out in 94. I don't remember the movie, but I can remember being in the movie theater. Like, I have, like, flashes. And Toy Story, I remember being excited for and seeing, and still kind of that flash memory, but big for me, big movie. I got all the toys. I had a Woody and Buzz. I was obsessed.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I can make the claim I have seen all of them in theaters now.
There you go.
I saw, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And third, well, definitely I was in college. But you know what? We got to that point of, who cares?
Yeah.
We like Toy Story. We're going to go see the third one. Stop us. They didn't, because we paid money for a ticket. And that's how it works.
And I was a little worried they stopped me at the door and checked my cool card.
Yeah, because if you go and see Toy Story at 18, be like, who's this clown? What's he doing here?
That's what I thought.
I definitely, though, had very fond memories of seeing Toy Story. I was obsessed with the first one. I watched it many times because we owned it then on VHS. But Fred, I'm going to make this claim here and now. I am almost like 99.9% sure this is the truth. I have only ever seen 2 through 5 one time each, and that was the theater viewing I saw of each of them.
That is crazy.
And not because I didn't like them. That's just the way life worked out. I just was like, okay, I saw it, and I became a teenager right after 2 came out, and I just feel like I was like, okay, I'll go see the next one, and the next one, the next one. But the big question, I guess, getting into this though, so we have a lot of nostalgia from it from kids. Why do you think Toy Story has persevered to the point where now we have 5 mainline outings, all of which pretty well critiqued or well received?
I think it's the concept, obviously. Any movie that has like can you imagine logline? And people can kind of imagine it. The idea of what are your toys doing when you're not gone? What if they came to life? That's enough to make a movie. On top of it, they were doing something very new, which they were having these characters, and these characters are kind of like 9 to 5er adults. They weren't Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
They weren't Roger Rabbit. These were animated characters, computer animated, that were just kind of like adults with adult problems in a way, in a smaller scale, yet they were still toys. And this is one of the few times where a movie for families is able to hold in one hand jokes for adults and heart in the same beat. Shrek is one that like scratches that, but I feel like the heart in Shrek is kind of lacking. It's really just adult jokes. Movies like Ants don't quite have the heart, but have a lot of that adult humor. This kind of is speaking to everyone, and I think that's why the 3 of us went and saw 5. I feel like these are still movies kind of that everyone can still enjoy. They're not just children's movies.
Yeah, which, I mean, but you do have to deal with children in the theater sometimes, and that can always be a mixed bag. But I do think there is something to what you just said, though, too, is it's a movie for everybody, but also, like, it was doing something different, really. It was the first computer animated feature-length film, which was huge at the time. I think it blew people's minds. Like, I can't remember exactly if it was just my mom who took me, but I think my dad was there too, simply out of the curiosity of like, this is all computer animated? We have to see what this is all about. Like, what have they done since like the CGI dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, which everybody was like raving about, like how amazing those looked. And it opened the door for something that I think we have not quite ever fully recovered from as a culture of like computer animation is a staple. It opened the door and they have always pushed the envelope. I mean, Pixar in general has pushed the envelope with their animation, but certainly I think Toy Story always seems to be like a pulse check-in of like, here's where things have come since the first one. And each outing, they somehow one up each other.
Yeah, and I was I was kind of sad when the traditional Disney movies went more towards this, because I liked having my computer-generated Pixar movies, and I liked having my 2D hand-drawn animated Disney movies.
I still don't get the decision to muddy those waters. And now to the point where I remember the other day, I was asking a group chat, like, name all the Pixar movies, and people are constantly rattling their brain like, is Brave Pixar or is that Disney? Is what else? I mean, Frozen obviously is not. Enchanted or not Enchanted? What am I thinking? Tangled, yeah.
Tangled is not.
No. But
Brave is, though.
Brave is a Pixar movie, which I would have said it's a Disney movie. But like that's the problem though now. But Toy Story, still has that Pixar staple to it. So I think it's definitely fun, right? And it's got a lot of fun cast. Like, we already had our Tim Allen talk on our previous episode when we talked Frasier, but we can talk a little more about Tim Allen today if we so desire. But I think you have Tom Hanks, who's like America's dad. Mm-hmm. And you have, Jim Varney, who we talked about earlier this year with Ernest. That was earlier this year. Was that late last year? I can't remember now.
It was this year.
Yeah, 2026 is what I'm
Correct.
saying. For the people who are listening back on this episode later on, we talked about Ernest early on in the year of this recording.
Don Rickles,
great voice.
Wallace Shawn.
Mm-hmm. A lot of actors or people who have very unique voices that were able to fit into animation and not just like, let's grab Seth Rogen because he sounds funny, right? Like, or like, hey, what if we could get Taylor Swift to be a role in this? And it's like, oh, cool. Well, what is she bringing to the table as an animated voice actor, right? Like, So Toy Story, though, I think has been around almost our entire lives now, right? We mentioned 30 years old now, over 30 years. And so last year was the 30-year anniversary of Toy Story 1 then.
Yes.
Wow. It's crazy. Which toys did you own growing up?
I had a Slinky Dog. I had a Buzz and Woody. I had a Mr. Potato Head. I think that was about it.
Do you think it made Mr. Potato Head more cool than
for
just being a
sure.
baby's toy?
I'm sure it skyrocketed once that movie came out.
It had to have. Because, I think I remember having a Mr. Potato Head when I was very young. And then I remember even at the time parents being like, I have to repurchase a Mr. Potato Head. We got rid of this already. Like, because it was a baby's toy, basically.
Barrel Monkeys.
Barrel monkeys, army soldiers.
I had a similar looking RC car.
Ooh, I think I did actually have a remote control RC car.
I had Army Men.
Mm-hmm. I do also remember having a big Buzz Lightyear, like Room Guardian or something like that.
I had a Flick Room Guardian.
Oh.
But I feel like Buzz is a better guardian than Flick. Like, hey, buddy, I didn't notice you just walked in here.
Yeah.
I don't mean to bother you.
Why did they sell room detectors? What a police state thing.
I know, and like you couldn't check them.
Yeah.
Because I would I would set it up before I left.
Oh, wow.
This is know if anyone was in my room.
But like, what does it actually indicate other than it's just like comes on when somebody walks in? It's not recording them. It's not like a Ring camera.
No, but we got there eventually.
Yeah, I know. That was the proof positive. It made everybody comfortable with that idea. So Toy Story, though, as I mentioned, was the first ever computer animated movie. I'm just going to run through a little bit of history because I think what's most interesting about these movies is what they're about versus necessarily like how they get made. I mean, if you want to watch documentaries on how they got made, I think you're going to be finding a lot of good stuff on YouTube. If you had a DVD, we already talked about physical media on our last Patreon.
I will say, I am pro getting the Pixar DVDs are great. Blu-rays are great. A lot of behind the scenes stuff. So if you do want behind the scenes stuff, DVDs are great. They do have some of those bonus features on Disney Plus for some of their Pixar movies, just let you know. But again, for now.
I think it's good to have both. Disney Plus is going to get a lot of use, and I think especially this movie series in general probably going to get some runtime on my TV very soon. But yeah, for Pixar, they had a first animated short that it won an Oscar. They won Best Animated Short. It was a computer animated short that won at the 1988 Oscars called Tin Toy, which was the inspiration for this movie. It's developed by John Lasseter, who, he's a not somebody that I think we need to spend a ton of time on, but I guess he is sort of the guy that got this operation up and running. Again, there's some other people here too that we'll talk about that we don't necessarily condone who they are as a person, but their art was very good. But basically, he was an animator at Walt Disney Features. He was inspired by Tron, the first movie to really use CGI animation within it. A little crude today, but Tron has definitely been something that has stood the test of time. Maybe we'll talk about Tron one of these days. I would like to. You want to talk about Jared Leto? Did you see Tron 3?
I haven't seen a single frame of a Tron movie.
Really?
No.
You're
Get
friends
that
with
nerd shit out of here.
You're friends
I'm
with-
just kidding. I don't know. I've never seen him.
You're friends with Josh Randall and you haven't seen a single Tron?
No.
Oh boy. Well, if he listens to this episode, which he won't, but
Yeah.
he's probably gonna get you to try and get that.
I have listened to the Tron. What's the newest one?
Oh, Tron Legacy? No, that was the second one. Tron Ares?
I've listened to the Tron Ares score like on repeat, but I've never seen a frame of a Tron movie.
Which the soundtracks are great. It's Daft Punk. It's then
Trent
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor for
Yeah. So, hey, Tron's worth a look. Worth a look. The first two specifically, but I don't know. 3 you can maybe ignore. Lasseter actually tried to pitch The Brave Little Toaster as the first computer animated movie for Disney, but the pitch got turned down and he got fired from Disney shortly after. Brave Little Toaster, also another nostalgic childhood movie.
I watched
for
that
me.
for the first time when I was sick a few weeks ago. Whenever I was sick,
Really? What did you think of it?
it unsettled me a little bit.
It's
That
weird,
heated
right?
blanket scared me. Master, when he's coming down the staircase flying,
Yeah.
upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, it's more upsetting though when like the appliances break and all that shit too. I mean, you're like, oh, these things are dead. But they all get repaired because they're just appliances. Or are they? But an interesting allegory though, an interesting comparison because it's about inanimate objects coming to life and having a little adventure, right? Sort of the first instance of this happening previous to Toy Story. So you can see why he was attracted to that. Worked with Lucasfilm prior to that, and then became a founding member of Pixar with the help from a little known guy. His name is Steve Jobs, head of Apple. You know, somebody who founded Apple or co-founded Apple, I should say. So Steve Jobs, if you did not know, has a founding interest in Pixar. Basically helped fund them to get them where they got to go. So on the heels that I mentioned of them winning this award for Tin Toy, it won the 1989 Academy Award, Best Animated Short Film. And so basically Disney came back and was like, hey, interesting little short film you got there. We'd love to make movies with you. And so they had a lot of conversations, which obviously Lasseter was maybe, you know, not hesitant, but certainly like, I want to do this on certain terms, which is important more to the wider Pixar story, less so to the Toy Story, so to speak. Because obviously Pixar is still their own entity, even though Disney is distributing their movies and they make a deal with Disney to make, 5 total films?
Could have been 5.
Right? Because it ends up being Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Wall-E, Finding Nemo, and Cars.
There's no Monsters Inc.
Oh, Monsters. Maybe it's more than 5 then. Monsters Inc. Up.
So they make that deal, I thought, was a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was more later where they do Up and Ratatouille,
Yeah.
and then
Wall-E.
and Toy Story 3 is part of that package of original movies. I think there was some like back and forth then, but I know Disney wasn't treating Pixar very well up until that point.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where
That's
things
like
went.
that's the like main crux of what's going on.
It's been a tenuous relationship from the start. It's still kind of weird, but I think ultimately they are a Disney brand at this point, full on, and that's just what Pixar is now. But back in the day, they were an upstart, basically like a Silicon Valley startup, you know, and so they were making Toy Story. So John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, and Pete Docter wrote early story treatments for the first Toy Story. Basically, you know, because the original treatments that were presented were rejected by Disney. The long-standing thing, and this is just something I think is going to apply for all the movies, so we don't have to keep relitigating this, is that a lot of the early treatments were just exactly that. They're rough drafts. And they kept remaking these movies or kept reworking the story until it ended up being crisp.
Yeah, I guess the earlier stuff was a little rough and like Woody was kind of an asshole.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, and they basically reworked it to kind of make him more of a sympathetic hero without necessarily losing, though, that jealousy that he has that I think really helps shape his character, that he has to kind of like have this emotional growth or this personal growth throughout the movie. But yeah, so Disney also appointed Joel Cohen, but not that Joel Cohen. Alex Sokolow,
The
and
director of the Garfield movie, Joel Cohen. Which is why Bill Murray agreed to do it, because he thought it was the other Cohen.
Is that right? That's not a real story.
That is a real story.
That's hilarious. Well, and then a little somebody named Joss Whedon came on to help rework some edges of the story, which there's a fantastic interview. I have to pull up another podcast that Blank Check just did with Andrew Stanton, who's one of the writers on this movie and all the Toy Story movies, really, right? I think.
Yes.
Or at least he did some effort on all of them, where he talks about how impactful Joss Whedon was. Doesn't support him as a person necessarily, but just basically they kind of taught them how to like write scripts. So basically they got the script to where it needed to be. They got the movie to where it wanted to be. They needed to cast the movie. So before they got Tom Hanks, do you know who they considered for Woody?
Tell me.
Take some guesses. Who would be big at the time in 1995 that you would maybe want to go for?
Are we looking at leading men?
Yes. Oh, and like top bill leading men. I'll give you that.
And it's early 90s, top Harrison Ford.
Not quite Harrison Ford.
That'd be
but
pretty
not
good.
Not a terrible,
Buzz. God damn it, Buzz.
not a terrible guess. There's one that feels like comically obvious that is funny they would even consider it.
Oh, is it John Wayne?
No, but on that same idea.
Clint Eastwood?
Yes.
Wow.
Clint Eastwood was.
Buzz.
Yeah. What are these damn little toys doing out there?
You are a child's plaything. I'm trying to think of more Woody lines.
Yeah. There's a snake in my boot. What are you doing on my lawn?
Gran Torino.
Another guy who's kind of in the Clint Eastwood realm, Paul Newman, was considered for the role of Woody. Obviously, Paul Newman didn't get it there, but then went on to voice
Cars.
in Cars.
Great.
Another guy who I think was coming off of a big role at the time, extremely obvious, but Robin Williams was considered for the role of Woody.
Be a really good Buzz, more than Woody, I think.
Well, we'll talk about who was up for Buzz, who was the favorite that they really wanted, but turned it down. So obviously,
Shatner.
I am.
I mean, that's what Tim Allen's doing, right? He's doing Shatner.
Kind of. He's doing more Shatner in Galaxy
Quest, but that's his guy.
Yeah, for sure. I see where you're drawing the comparison, but I'm like, he's doing more of the Shatner there. So I'm always
for
like,
sure.
He's the
He's literally doing the Shatner there.
But the first choice for Buzz in the Robin Williams vein, and maybe this is even why they got on this pairing, Billy Crystal. Again, somebody who they didn't ultimately get there.
What if he's the guy? The guy's got too many eyes. Call me when you got a guy with one less eye.
That is exactly how this went. Apparently, Billy Crystal turned down the role of Buzz Lightyear. He was offered it. Said, no, I don't want to do this. He didn't think the movie would do much. When it was a success, he called Pixar back up, said, you got something else? I'll do this. Monsters, Inc. came along. So
Better fit.
they definitely have a history of people who were considered that ended up going on and doing work with them later. In addition to Billy Crystal, I think this list has to be just shit they threw at the wall, because this is an insanely long list of every other character actor or person you can think of. Name a couple names, just people who were big in the 1990s, and I'll tell you yes or no.
John Cusack.
Okay, you picked the one not on this list.
I did pick a pretty good one though.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have been good for Buzz.
What about I'm just going through
Just pick the lowest hanging fruit.
to be a Buzz Lightyear,
Yeah, you already said one.
and I said it to play Woody.
No, you just brought up him in general.
Oh,
Bill.
Skarsgård.
Yes.
They Stellan, how's that boy of yours doing? He's not quite ready.
No, come back and make a clown.
Who?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray could have.
Keep going.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yep.
Jim Carrey.
Yep.
Would have been bad. Jim Carrey could have been a Woody if he contained himself.
Yeah, but that's asking him
He's
to
not
contain
going to do
himself.
that. What else?
Just keep throwing some names out.
Jeff Goldblum.
No. Do you want me to just rattle some off?
Yes.
Okay. Chevy Chase.
Bad.
Jason Alexander.
Could be a Buzz.
Matthew Broderick.
No, that's bad.
This is my favorite. Kevin Costner.
Good Buzz, but it'd be really hard to write it
Yeah.
because he's not gonna know the joke.
No.
So you have to like feed it to him in a way that's funny.
He's gonna be too sincere about it. Michael J. Fox.
Good Woody.
Yeah. Richard Gere.
I don't know.
David Hasselhoff.
Good Buzz.
Michael Keaton.
Good Woody or Buzz.
Yeah. Wayne Knight.
I guess Good Woody.
Bill Paxton.
Guess a Woody.
I could see him being a Buzz.
Can I just have a conversation with you for a second? I just feel you're not getting what we're doing.
Dennis Quaid.
I guess he could be Woody or Buzz.
Kurt Russell.
Good Buzz.
Yeah. Adam Sandler.
Actually, he'd be a good Woody too. Adam Sandler has no place here.
Not as Woody or Buzz. John Travolta.
Maybe. I never saw Bolt, so I don't know how he does with an because he's not playing animated character or he's not voicing. I was like, look who's talking.
The only person on this list. So, first of all, I think this is bonkers. I don't know where people pulled these names from. There's no way all these guys were in the running for Buzz fucking Lightyear. This is before Pixar got
No,
big.
you have to have a small amount of gravitas, and also things have to go over your head.
The super interesting name to me on that list is Keaton, because I could have seen him really digging into it.
I like him as Woody.
But
I like him as like trying to like keep everything together and like having that like can-do attitude.
I love him just as like being a character though. And I think that's the one where I'm like, damn.
And a lot of these people, they got, well, not a lot of them, but some of them
They did.
they got Keaton.
They did. So movie got made. I don't know why I just jumped into. So the movie got made. I mean,
People
obviously,
liked it.
People liked it, and that's all I have to say about that. No, I'm just kidding. So Toy Story 1, though. I'm gonna pull up some of the box office numbers too for this too, just so we have that. But I mean, so once you kind of have your guys in place, right? Your main voice actors for this series, you are pretty much good to go, right? I mean, you kind of have everything that works, and I think Tom Hanks and Tim Allen have a really great like on-screen chemistry for never actually physically being on screen together. Like they just worked so well off of one another. Am I right that in later entries they did end up recording in person, or is it always still just single booth?
I have no idea.
I feel like I read something that might have implied that, but I did not get that deep into the research.
I think for later Pixar, that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, probably got harder, right?
They record stuff over, like they'll get called in to add more lines, this and that. It's very isolated these days.
But yeah, for Toy Story 1, though, I mean, once they nailed the story, once they got their cast, they did have a movie, and the budget was $30 million, which is a lot for an animated movie, but considering the technology of the time, it was something big. Let's talk about the movie itself. I mean, the story they landed on, and why did this work?
I think it was all the things I had pointed out before. We weren't getting a lot of children's movies with adult humor. That was more of a 90s conceit. I do think because kids like toys and it's about toys and it also interrogates our relationship with toys. And I think all those things have worked for it. And also I think it had edge, which Toy Story does have edge, but now we have more edgy animated movies. It doesn't seem like it does.
Yeah, because there certainly was a visual appeal of this at the time, right? Of just being all computer animated, and people were like, "Wow, how realistic this all looks!" And you watch it now, and it's like watching the Star Wars prequels. You're like,
It's more the humans are a little upsetting to look at. I think most of the toy stuff works for me because toys are pretty basic in design.
yeah,
Annie has a little bit of a dead eye, and his mom's a fucking walking nightmare.
she is, yeah, very scary looking.
But we love Laurie Metcalf.
She's a charm. She's just a legend at this point. I really like Laurie Metcalf. I just think, though, like you're saying, this movie toes such a fine line where it stops being a movie for one group versus another. It is truly for everyone. And it really, like you mentioned it too, it sets up the Pixar formula from the music to the way that the story is paced to like all the things. It's like all the toys feel so human. And that 9 to 5 feeling of like you're kind of clocking in, clocking out, having work meetings.
Yep. And it's the start of one of the juiciest things about Toy Story that goes through most of the movies, I would say, is existentialism. This one very much the Buzz character, which they always kind of do struggle with what to do with Buzz after the first movie, I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
He's kind of the hardest character to tackle, it seems like. But it's really just like him reckoning with what his purpose and who he is in the universe. And I think they've approached that topic in different ways throughout the rest of the movies in kind of more bold ways, especially in the fourth one.
Which we'll talk about 4, definitely.
And that's the stuff I like about the movie.
Yeah. I think the more interesting thing, too, about the story beyond just, are these toys existential, is that feeling of like the relationship you have with another person, too, of like, kids especially are, what's the flavor of the week? Did you go through a yo-yo phase when you were a kid?
Yeah, Yo Omega X-Brain. I had a Fireball, I had them all.
Yeah. And it's like just that feeling of like you could be somebody's favorite thing for a month and then all of a sudden it's on the next thing. It's Pokemon cards when we were kids. It was, oh my God, what else? Pogs came in and out, I feel like 100 times. Certain video game systems. And then it's just like everybody had to have one specific thing once everybody started getting into something.
And that at that point gets carried on and is really highlighted in the second film.
And I think it's just so brilliant the way that they present that too, of like how you would deal with a threat when you have something like, here's the spaceman. I mean, obviously the most low-hanging fruit there is like, oh, the old Western was killed by sci-fi, right? And it's like, but they have so much more to say than that. And I just think the way that Pixar wrote, they had such great ideas for how to represent an interesting story told from non-human perspective. And it's like, obviously that was some things to Disney and the way that they did that, you know, but certainly, I don't know. The way that the toys move to is always feels authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff with Sid is always
Sid, which I do love the whole thing. Like Sid is the villain, but I think there's a lot there to kind of point at. Like, I think this kid just needs, like, I think they even Andrew Stanton songs like this kid just needs to go to like an arts college.
Yeah.
And you can see like the home life is a little, but they don't like harp on these things. You can see the home life's a little off at Sid's house versus Andy's house.
Yeah.
These little things, like the father, like kind of like passed out middle of the day watching TV, his bedroom, you know, like there's all these kind of little things. So it creates a villain that like is a little frightening, is a little scary, but also like we can conceptualize a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and it also presents our most like really intriguing thing of like the whole movie. The conceit is that toys have to collapse and go inanimate when a human is around. As the first time we see them like actually like making the conscious choice. And this is in the first movie to be like, we are going to come to life and scare the shit and scare him straight. Like
Scary scene too, even for me watching those toys.
yeah. Like when he's like Woody's like head is like spinning around and stuff.
And they're coming out of the sand and stuff.
Yeah.
Freaky. And it was great.
And in a way, you almost look at it too, right? Like, you know, Marvel got noted a lot for like, oh, look how they blend genres, or like how Spielberg blended genres. It does feel like this does dance in a lot of different categories. You get your action sequences, you get your scary moments like at Sid's house, you get your very funny moments, obviously, on the surface of just the tension of, you know, Woody trying to not be completely upsold by Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of great stuff that I think people just really loved. And you want to know what the box office was? I told you it was $30 million budget.
Like, are we talking like opening or total?
Ooh, I'm going to go total, but I will give you at least it is, I believe, is this domestic? This has to be worldwide.
What's the worldwide? Just tell me the domestic, worldwide, any of it.
401 million.
Hey,
I think
that's a good return on investment.
Yeah, I mean, this was a smash success, right? And the fact that they had gone through so many iterations and everything else, like it earned 29 million during its 3-day opening weekend, 39 million in its first 5 days.
I was gonna guess around 30.
Yeah.
So I felt good about I'm better at opening than totals.
Yeah, 150 million from ticket sales over a 5-day weekend. That's crazy.
Some of that money was my parents. Yes.
And both of our parents, bringing us out to go and see it. You remember the theater going experience?
It's like flashes. I remember the excitement more. I also remember getting the VHS because this was a summer movie.
Yeah.
I think by October the VHS was out. So that
you
was
have the clamshell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
And then that Christmas was probably all Toy Story stuff.
Yep.
Loved the games. Loved everything.
Yeah. Did you play the Toy Story game on like Super Nintendo and all that?
I played, yes, more the N64 Toy Story 2 game.
Oh, okay.
Mine, but I did play that one. That one I remember there was a haircut place I used to go to where they actually had Super Nintendos set up.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember playing it there.
It is, yeah, pretty crazy. I remember the first game being hard.
They were all hard. All those Nintendo games were hard.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about 2, which maybe we could jump into 2 and keep this train rolling, because I think 2 is, some people's estimation, the high watermark of the series.
High watermark of Pixar.
Wow.
For me, it's like Ratatouille, Toy Story 2. I don't know what the third would be, but those two are at the very top. For me.
That's not too surprising, though, to hear Ratatouille was...
that was a grower for me, but definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I like Ratatouille a lot, but I'm like, yeah, that's pretty
I
big.
mean, Toy Story 2 is a movie that's playing with our relationship with nostalgia in a way that we weren't talking about back then. It's got a great villain that we sympathize for, which is
Is he
I don't
voiced
think-
by anybody recognizable, Fred?
Kelsey Grammer.
Someone we talked about recently.
Playing, let me look, Stinky Pete, the prospector,
what a
which
great-
is a great bit that he's like this toothless prospector, but he talks like this Woody, you know. Two, I mean, it has the great starting sequence of like an action set piece, and that's like the Buzz Lightyear video game. That's great. It's using the Star Wars sound effects,
Yeah.
and it feels like a level up in the first seconds of this movie.
Yeah.
I know it's been a while for you.
Well, I do remember that sequence because the fact that that was a video game in the movie was also subliminal to me to be like, I want the video game of this movie. And I played that on PlayStation. I did beat that one, and I played that shit out of that game. It was fun.
Another thing this movie really latches onto, which was around at the time but is much more prevalent now, awful fandom.
Mm-hmm.
One of the main villains, Wayne Knight, you know, getting back in there, one of the actors he threw out, playing, was it Al from Al's Toy Barn?
Yeah.
Just like, imagine him talking about Marvel movies and the Odyssey right now, that character.
He is very much the model of like almost like comic book guy, right? Like, you know, the classic like toy collector who like was overvaluing. You know, it did feel like it's a really good way to bring this up. At the time, it was always like looked down on to be like, you know, a super nerd or something like that. It feels like we came back almost too far the other way, where now the super nerds have gone.
We should have been still giving you a couple wedgies.
Yeah, yeah. Because now it's like they dictate, like, that's how you ruin Star Wars. That's how you ruin, like,
Influence elections. Like,
yeah, you know.
yeah, maybe just increase the knob of wedgies back a little bit more. We turned
Yeah.
it completely off. We need to like bring it back to a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, yeah. Just so, because it's like, it's okay to be a big fan of something. It's another thing to be toxic about it. And toxic fandom, you know, is something that, I mean, even has surrounded Toy Story itself at this point. Like, people like have such fierce opinions about 3, 4, and 5. And I'm like, how about you just enjoy the movie? You know? I'm like, we'll rank them and but I'm not going to like jump down your throat if you have one over another. Like,
No, I think all 5 are great
Ah.
ish. But no, I think 2 is elite. We're bringing in new characters.
good new characters.
Good
too.
new characters. I love Jesse. I love Bullseye. And I think Sticky Pete with Al are great kind of a side-by-side villain. Not working together, but kind of still working in tandem in some ways. And I mean, I love any villain that you can kind of see their view.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely one. Like, he wants to be loved. He is a relic of what you were talking about, of like the space, you know, craze, knocking out what made him special. He wants to, you know, to still have that place in the world. And I think we have a lot of people who are of that age of Stinky Pete who are rallying against the change around them because they used to have some sort of sway and power in the world. And they don't, so they do bad things like nail Woody into a packing box to send him to Japan so he can be behind glass and be ogled by fans for the rest of his life.
I mean, I think you're right, though. This wholly hits on the toxicity of nostalgia, right? I mean, we are, yeah, you're right. From a political spectrum, we're fighting it at a higher level right now of people who are yearning for a society or a time that never actually existed, but they don't remember that because they were so young and thriving at that time that they're like, well, these things were so much greater then. And like, yeah, you look at, they answered a question in such an interesting way of like, what is Woody? Is he just a cowboy toy or was he something more? And it's like, yeah, he obviously was inspired from a series. If Buzz was inspired from a real person, which is so stupid. I just like the idea that Buzz is more of a property. Like, we didn't need to answer that question. We went too far. But, you know, it's like to say that Woody is from this like old TV show. And like, there's some people who like, I mean, my dad talked about how much he watched Howdy Doody and shit. And I'm like, the show looks weird, but that wasn't my era, right? And I'm sure there was like Howdy Doody, like merchandise and stuff at the time that people got big about. And I bet, you're also talking about feelings of abandonment, right? And like Jesse is like feeling like alone and like lost. And, and obviously Joan Cusack, you brought up John Cusack. Joan Cusack, great in this series.
So good.
Joan Cusack, just great in general.
Our favorite Chicagoan cowgirl.
Yeah. With the way she talks.
She's got a store in Chicago. I really want to go.
What is it?
Joan Cusack. I don't know. It's like a eccentric store. It looks like the store where Bear gets the One Wish Willow a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of those kind of stores. A little more kitschy though.
Yeah, Obsession, maybe something we'll be talking about early next year. But yeah,
Oscars. That might happen.
Best movies of the year. We'll certainly talk about it in our best movies of the year episode. We'll talk about it with relation to the Oscars though at some point. We might be talking about Toy Story 5 though come that time too.
That's the original song.
Ooh. Well, yeah. But again, it's something I had to like read some of the plot summary to remember it, and it did come back to me quite a bit.
SMDH.
I know.
Because you're like, I want to save them for when I have a kid, but you can't show them Toy Story 2 till they're like 8 or 9.
Why not? They'll learn how to
you
appreciate their
can,
toys.
but they're only going to get like 30% of it.
They're going to learn how to appreciate their toys. That's what this movie's going to teach them.
I'm just saying, it's got depth.
Yeah. I do think this is a nice companion piece, though, to 5 as well, which we will get into why that is with Jesse's character. But you do have this like feeling of like almost like Buzz kind of playing, the hero in the same way that Woody tried to. He's like, I kind of owe him one, he like saved me like when I was getting lost and all that. And it's like you have at least more for the toys to do. And it's very fun to see them in the car at the airport. I feel like I need to watch that airplane sequence at least one more time.
That's the juice. The whole the baggage claim to them riding Bullseye to the plane. It's all good stuff.
Yeah. I have to talk a little bit about...
You saved your lives. You saved our lives. We're eternally grateful. Come on.
I mean, and then he has the aliens from now until forever. The aliens are so great. They should have been in the last movie. We have to talk about, though, the fact that this movie almost like escaped basically a death knell like 3 different instances. Because first and foremost, it was envisioned as a direct-to-video sequel a la like Lion King 2 and like
Return of Jafar.
Return of Jafar was in theaters though, was it not?
No, Prince of Thieves, I think, ended up having a theatrical release. I don't think Return of Jafar did.
I thought, man, am I wrong? I thought Return of Jafar got big enough that they put it in theaters. We'll have to save it for the Aladdin episode. Write in if you guys know the answer. I'm not going to look this up because we didn't need
the Shrek meme.
Fred's doing the Shrek face of just like, I don't know. Kind of a little bit like the Kevin James, like, but not quite. I should be taking photos of this. I'm trying to read. So this was envisioned though as a direct-to-video sequel, which Disney was doing a lot of at the time. Began production in a building separated from Pixar on a small scale, as most of the main Pixar staff was working on A Bug's Life. So when the story reels, though, proved to be pretty promising, Disney was like, we should put this in theaters. This looks like it has something to it. So, but they were not happy with the film's quality, neither Disney nor Pixar. And so the Bain team, that was like Lasseter, Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton, all kind of had a crash course weekend to rework the whole story on Toy Story 2 to make it what it ended up being. And they did it all in like one weekend. Like it's crazy. So the work on the film was almost lost then in 1998 when one of the animators who was routinely clearing some files accidentally deleted the root folder. And not only that, their backups were corrupted. So they completely lost 90% of the movie. So they're panicking at this time. But fortunately, and this is kind of an old like legend now at this point, one of the technical directors, Galen Sussman, who had been working remotely to take care of her child, another case for remote work, revealed that she had a backup copy of the film on her home computer that she had been working on. and was able to restore the movie almost in its entirety. They only ended up losing like a couple days of work, which was pretty incredible.
And I heard the story as technically she was not supposed to have been having this on an external computer working on it.
I think that's probably true.
And so she had to kind of fess up, but also like, what are they going to do? Like, she got the goods. Like, you can't really be mad.
Save the movie.
But yeah, craziness.
Yeah. So the movie ended up coming together after that. Fred, do you want to take a guess on the box office for this one?
$50 million weekend.
Opening weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, so the budget was $90 million.
Because we were at like 30.
Yep, for the first one. So the I will get us to the reception here. Yeah, so the opening weekend numbers. You said 50?
I'm going to bring it up 80.
No, that's about right.
All right.
57.4 domestic.
Well, just the way you said it, I got nervous, but I'll take it then.
Yeah, as well as they did a Wednesday launch and it ended up making 80 million over that stretch. But the opening 3-day weekend, Friday to Sunday, $57 million for Toy Story 2. So
it cost, but it still cost close to that 90, right? You said,
yeah,
but still, that's still good. I mean, that's gonna make you money back and more. But
so
I'm
not
surprised.
Not bad though, because it was November 24th, 1999. So like Thanksgiving weekend, which great time to release a movie.
I was there. Went with my mom.
Yep, I went with my aunt and my cousins. I'm like, where was my mom? Why didn't she? I don't think my mom wanted to go. It might have been something like that.
But it's got two great moments where I cry.
What were the two
I
moments?
mean, obviously the Jesse, the
Flashback.
Sarah McLachlan song. And I really get emotional Woody watching himself on the show.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Tom Hanks singing the actual song.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Now I'm having flashbacks to like the theater. I remember seeing my aunt crying. And that was like the first time I saw her crying at a theater.
That's why I had the same thing. I was probably 8 or 9 or whatever it was, and I watched it and I liked it. I love Toy Story, but I look around. I remember adults being more affected, and them like I remember my mom saying, like, that was great. Like she was all about it, and I liked it a lot. I was like, I like it, like I was into it, but. You don't, at that age, you're not thinking good or bad or quality. You're like, yes, movie.
Yeah. But I remember even my aunt saying that too. When she got home, she was telling my mom when she was like dropping me off, she's like, that was a great movie. Like really good. She said even better than the first one. And I was like, no way. The first one's good. And then she's like, I think I need to see this. So it was funny. I did look it up. The first movie was also released late November 1995. So it's November 22nd.
Okay, so that makes more sense that I got it as in October. I got the VHS because it took that long.
Yeah, so they're really nailing that Thanksgiving weekend, kind of getting that juice. So 1999 was the end of 2.
So I was 9.
At that point, yeah, so I was probably
A fresh 9.
11 or 12. No, I was probably almost 12 years old, which that's kind of right on the cusp of like being too old and too cool for a Toy Story. But I was like, I'll go because my cousin wants to go. It probably was where I was at. But I think I remember really liking the movie. I like that Sneaky Pete gets taken by a little girl at the end. I also have to note, though, then after that, no Toy Story for a while. Pixar is suddenly doing a whole bunch of other stuff because they had A Bug's Life. Then they did Toy Story 2. Then they started becoming the Pixar that people know and love. Finding Nemo, Up, Wall-E, Ratatouille, Cars 2?
Mm-hmm.
All of that in that span before Toy Story 3, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Pretty dang crazy. Brave in that stretch?
Who knows? Who cares? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows and who cares?
Some people really fuck with Brave.
The Incredibles as well.
Love the Incredibles.
Almost forgot The Incredibles.
I love Incredibles too.
Save the Pixar rankings, though. I feel like that's another episode. Or
I pitched it as a draft.
That's going to be Patreon content for sure. Y'all got to pay up if you want to hear those rankings. Spread quiet now. Quiet. least on where you have everything. Don't say you like one thing over another. But yeah, great movies. I love all of that. I love a lot of these movies. So I think by the time 2010 rolled around, I was at the end of college. And I think it had gotten announced maybe a couple of years previous that Toy Story 3 actively in development, and that they were going to release this one, and that it was going to feature Andy as an adult. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy, because here I am having watched this at 8 years old. And then now I am a 23-year-old individual, 22, at the end of college. And I'm like, you guys want to see Toy Story 3? Okay, let's go see it. And Fred, I was emotionally affected by it. I am going to provide a little more extra context, but first I want to know, what were your impressions of Toy Story 3?
I like it. I think it's a lot of filler with a pretty good emotional stinger at the end. I think everyone you ask, like, what do you like about Toy Story 3? No one talks about 90% of the movie. They talk about that last beat of the movie, or they talk about the trash compactor. These are the things they talk about. They don't talk about love. They love the kindergarten or the preschool or whatever it was. They love the jail stuff. They love Ken. No one really talks about Ken, which is my favorite part.
That's what I was going to bring up, is Keaton as
Well, I
Ken.
think we're Keaton boys. But that is my favorite part of the movie, and also the villain, which they do. This happens with more and more as more movies come out. But the follow-up to 3 after 2 is a villain that is exactly the same.
I suppose that is true. Lots of hugging or whatever.
It's the exact same story and the exact same like feelings.
I could see that.
And that doesn't bug me in 4 because the doll in 4 has that, but I think the doll in 4 is more interesting and the Christina Hendricks performance is just more impactful to me than Lotso Huggin' Bear or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I get it. Although, I mean, and I guess here's also where I'm at for the time, though, too. Probably similar timing, we had Shrek 3 come out, right?
That was 3 years before this.
Was it?
Yeah.
So maybe that was like one of the most previous computer animated sequels I had seen. Shrek 3 is stinky. It is real not good.
It's no Shrek 2.
No. Shrek 2 is kind of good.
I think Shrek 2 is the best.
I think you probably got a good argument there. Kind of a Toy Story relationship there, potentially, depending on what your opinions are of 3. Again, having only seen it one time in my life, I still have some very fond memories of 3. I do remember really liking the daycare sequence. The Spanish-speaking Buzz Lightyear really made me laugh. Michael Keaton playing Ken was also very good. I also, wasn't Kristen Shaw got introduced in this movie too?
I think so.
Yeah. I really liked her as the Triceratops.
It's like her and Jeff Garland.
Yeah. And I liked that some of the new characters felt fresh, that they felt interesting. It felt like finally we encountered the Barbie of it all a little bit too, because you have to think, talking, walking toys. Where's Barbie?
There was great Barbie stuff in 2. Tour guide Barbie in the Barbie section. I'm a married spud.
That's right. But there was no Ken in 2. That's right.
There was no Ken, so this is new Ken territory.
I'm a Ken guy. What can I say? Ryan Gosling, Michael Keaton, Ken Marino. Just like
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh. If you listen to our Nolan Patreon, you'll hear all about him and Tenet.
Although we didn't talk about him in Dunkirk.
We didn't, but he has a good role.
Best album.
I like your Branagh.
Thank you.
I get it though. I get why some people are out on this movie a little bit. I think it's still a good movie.
I love all these movies.
Even if it's not your favorite. Yeah.
But would you agree that everyone's mind is in that last chunk of the movie?
I would probably say that's probably where
and
a lot
I
of this
would
comes
agree
from.
that last chunk, him playing with his toys with Bonnie, is pretty transcendent stuff.
It is.
But that's small portion of a bigger movie.
I do think there's truth to that. I think a lot of people remember that trash compactor and feeling so emotionally affected.
Quentin Tarantino, apparently one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says like Toy Story 3 is one of the best movies ever, and he's like salty about that they made more.
I don't think
I won't see for, okay? They did it all. And I think the trash compactor is a nothing.
I kind of think there is stakes being added there that are meant to manipulate the audience a little bit for sure, but it's effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to argue with it. I felt something, and I felt because you care for these toys. I think you are like Andy. And again, we hark back to the Brave Little Toaster of like guys going off to college. He's like leaving like his blanket and his appliances behind. I think I had that memory of that movie watching this and that feeling of like, damn, like sometimes nostalgia is good, but you also do need to know when to say it's okay to let go and let someone else have it. And that it's time for somebody else to enjoy toys and, you know, help carry on their legacy, even if maybe you've grown up and you're not cool enough for toys anymore. Never for me, as you see all the toys on the shelf behind me in the studio here.
Getting rid of toys is for losers.
Fred, that sounds like some toxic fandom behavior.
I don't work at Al's Toy Barn.
No, not yet. So this movie did go through a little bit of development hell, though. It was in January 2006 when Disney bought Pixar, that put Lasseter in charge of all of Disney Animation. It was afterward the Toy Story 3. Well, the one that was in process was canceled. So this got basically pushed down the road a few more years until finally it got a new treatment, being directed by Lee Unkrich. I believe that's how you say it. Unkrich? Unkrich. What else was Lee Unkrich known for? Was he co-directed on 2?
I just know him as a Pixar guy.
Okay, so he has been like co-director, which like, again, listen to a great episode with Andrew Stanton. Tells you all about what it meant when they said co-director. They weren't really a director on the movie. They were kind of a story supervisor, kind of managing the director of sorts. It's really, really interesting stuff. But he went on to direct Coco. Great.
Coco's great.
Another really good movie.
Pretty high up for me.
I'd say that's definitely in the tops for me too. But ultimately, he helped get this movie back together, get it out. And June of 2010, June 18th is the official release date. Budget on this movie, guess.
130, 200,
$200 million.
Dang.
Box office.
Odyssey was like 236, wasn't it?
Yeah. Again, probably over the years.
It's the time in between.
What people need to understand too, right? Most movies are made in a year, right? This movie was made in 5 years? All of the Pixar movies take multiple years. So
it's like those pandemic movies that end up costing so much. It's just the time.
Yeah. How much did this movie make?
All of it?
Well,
80 million weekend? Being generous, maybe.
Okay, so opening day, $41 million. Opening, not even opening weekend, opening day. I just have to make sure that's clear because these numbers are going to start getting crazy. Worldwide box office for first weekend, $145 million. Domestic, so that's US and Canada, $415 million for the entire run. Worldwide, $1 billion. $1.067 billion. Toy Story is back, baby.
Yep.
That's huge. I didn't even know it made.
It's a lot of dough.
It's a ton of dough. So needless to say, maybe a future installment was going to happen, but also people were like Quentin Tarantino, that was a really good way to end the movie. I don't know why you would make any more. What are you doing? What would you do anymore? This is the logical ending.
Well, my answer to him would be Bonnie is a treasure.
Bonnie, we stand Bonnie in this household, I think. I like Bonnie. She's a sweet little girl.
I'm a Bonnie over Andy person myself.
Wow, saying some stuff. But Bonnie is fun. She's very creative.
Yeah, she knows how to play with those toys, and I think she's very funny.
Toy Story 4 didn't come out till 2019. You know how I know that? This was one of the first movies I took my wife on a date to.
There you go.
Toy Story 4. I was like, we haven't gone to a movie together yet. You want to go to a movie? June 21st, 2019. So we must have gone like the following week. We started dating June 19th of the year. So we must have gone either that weekend or the following weekend. That's pretty crazy. I didn't even realize that was the time frame. Learning something about
Yourself.
yeah, truly. But Toy Story 4. Do you want me to talk a little production notes first, or you want to
Go ahead, do your production notes.
Toy Story 4 began shortly before the release of Toy Story 3, which is crazy that it was a 9-year gap, right? Because at first it was an 11-year gap between 2 and 3, after being a 4-year gap between 1 and 2. So now we are on like video game development time, like the Final Fantasy series. They were like pumping out one a year, and now it's like one every 5-7 years. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, they basically tooled around with this for years. A lot of replacements involving, some unfortunate scandals that came up involving John Lasseter. Maybe he was a little too touchy-feely with his staff. Not great. Anyway, so some turmoil at the top of Pixar and at Disney in general, because I think who was in charge at Disney in 2010? Was that still
Big Head?
Eisner?
I think so.
So, I mean, he ended up stepping down. Plus, what else was happening around this time? 2015, 2016.
The election.
Well, I was thinking more the sale of a pretty massive property to Disney that may have taken a lot of their focus.
It was.
Star Wars. Yeah, so Lucasfilm had sold their rights to Disney. So all of a sudden, bigger priorities over at the Mouse House between 2013 and 2019. So whatever production was going on 3 or 4.
In the early reports was this was going to be a rom-com between Bo Peep and Woody.
Yeah, getting Annie Potts back to play Bo Peep again in this one was big because she was missing in 3.
Yep. I think Rashida Jones was working on treatments for this.
Writer of The Invitation, another movie that might come up in our movies episode.
The Invite?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, The Invitation. I don't think she wrote The Invitation.
Oh, no, yeah, The Invite. I'm sorry.
Invitation, good movie.
That's the one with dude, fucking Star Wars guy, Uncle Owen.
No, you're thinking of like It Comes at Night, I think.
Or is it
The Gift?
Yes.
The Invitation is the one where the guy goes to like this girl's house for a party, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are kind of weird." It's kind of like they have like maybe a cult vibe, and it ends up being like they all have like the red flags. John Carroll Lynch. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. It's been a while since I've seen that though too. Anyway, but eventually Toy Story 4 started coming together after they got some things pushed on. Josh Cooley, director on this one, after John Lasseter directed the first 2. Lee Unkrich directed 3. Josh Cooley stepped in for 4. Again, they pulled together a lot of the writing team that they had previously. Andrew Stanton came back into the fold officially. Same with Stephanie Folsom. But they gave the story credit. Yeah, Rashida Jones is in there. It's a lot of different people.
She worked more on, I think, the earlier drafts, but less the final drafts.
Yeah.
But she still got that credit.
Yeah, but we do see a very different type of vibe in Toy Story 4 with now we're following Bonnie and her ownership of the toys versus the transition between her and Andy. And they end up finding their way into a gift shop, which is kind of a crazy premise still when you think about
It's
it.
like more like a antique shop.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, yeah, and you have, we have Keanu in this one playing.
Kaboom, national treasure. Well, Canadian treasure.
He is Canadian, that's true. And, but yeah, having Annie Potts back felt good.
Gripping opening scene, saving RC and the separation of him Woody deciding to, figure out to stay with his toys and Andy, but then later kind of chasing what he wants instead. And I think this movie is kind of about maybe like, I think these movies can be about a lot of things, but there's something about like, there's kind of this like empty nester looking to find what is important to them in their life and pursuing it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Being your own person and not being in service to other people.
Well, and it's interesting when you juxtapose it too with, I think that was the word I was looking for before, instead of whatever I said, but because then you have Forky, great new character, played by Tony Buster Bluth.
Hale.
Tony Hale, thank you. Yeah. I'm just like, it was completely coming up blank. But yeah, Tony Hale playing Forky, who is a literal
Treasure.
trash.
Trash or treasure, and both.
Considers himself trash, but is okay with that. Keeps trying to throw himself out, but it was all Bonnie's creation. She made her toy. It asks a whole different question about what makes value, what makes a toy, what makes your bond to something matter. It's what you make of it, right? And I think that reflects on Woody's story too, of just finding his value when it seems like he's kind of fallen out of favor. And it's an interesting thing. I remember having kind of more of a lukewarm reaction to this movie. I still liked it, but I don't remember loving it.
Yeah, we're in the. I mean, I like them all, but this one I found refreshing over 3 because I think with 3 I knew like they're gonna make these till I die. So don't try to sell me this like packaged ending. And 4, I thought did a good job of just being an entry and being fun. I think that's what's so good about 4 and 5. I'll just say both. Is like they're not concerned about necessarily the overall lore. They're really just worried about making a fun, good movie.
Yeah.
And there's so many like I think my thing with 4 though, and more so than 5, I'd kind of say I think 4 might be the best looking Toy Story movie.
It is a good looking movie.
They're flexing a lot more with the realism and stuff. There's like a shot of a cat that's like I assumed it was a real cat. The rain in the beginning. I just love everything about that. And again, we're really playing with existentialism with Forky and Woody, which you mentioned, kind of like what he's doing and what he's transitioning. So like, again, these are kind of themes that pop up again and again. I like Key and Peele as the 2 like carnival toys because that's like a whole new layer of like, what about these shitty toys that cost nothing,
Yeah. Well, I do love that every entry in this series brings in new types of toys and asks like, what is the personality of like an antique toy? Like you have the Gabby, right?
Yes.
With Christina Hendricks in this. That's a little more kind of menacing, but there is something a little, and then you have the very scary looking like marionettes and like.
I think that's why I don't mind this retread because it's a different personality that has the same kind of hurt as Stinky Pete and Lotso Hug and Bear.
Sure.
But Lotso Hug and Bear is a very similar character to Stinky Pete. Gregarious, like leader type.
Yeah.
Whereas Gabby's kind of got this like coldness, quietness, and it makes sense because, we see toys kind of lose their purpose, get put away. But I love we're also getting back to kind of this like unsettled freakiness from the first one with these dolls. Yeah. I love that. I love that weirdness with the toys.
Right. And I think you see I'll return a little bit to some of that scariness when those like little like marionette like things come up behind them.
Yes.
And, yeah, if you're not a fan of horror, I can see why this would also unsettle some people. But yeah, I do think you're right though, because you don't get as much feature on everybody else. I mean, it truly is like a Woody and Bo Peep focused story. Plus, I love my guy Forky. That he carried a lot.
It's a treasure. I'm
Really
telling
good
you.
jokes in there, and I just love the design. He just looks so homemade, and I love the story that it was a child that actually named him, and it's like, well, what would his wife be named? It's like a real name. It's like because you
Karen
know
Beverly.
Karen Beverly, because you know a kid, you can't ever pretend to be a kid. You have to ask a kid what they think. But yeah, 4 definitely. You like you said, shook things up a little bit. I think to varying tastes of some people, but I certainly understand if people really like this, including yourself. Like, and again, I'm always here for my guy Keanu. I mean, I'm happy for him. He plays a very off the wall type character, and it's very fun. So, Toy Story 4 made, well, again, we'll ask this: budget $200 million. Box office? What's your guess for the opening weekend?
I'm gonna do around like 80 again.
You are close.
I figured it'd be the same or less than 3.
So they have a worldwide opening listed on here. I'm trying to look.
And the worldwide opening was 140 some for 3.
I think so. So the first day for this one, because I think it was what, 40 million for 3?
Yep.
47 million.
Okay.
Including 12 million from Thursday night previews. Okay, so they counted Thursday and Friday. That's not really fair, in my opinion. Like, it sounds like it may not have been as big as 3.
But that's still impressive considering the break was smaller.
Yeah. The worldwide opening weekend, though, I can at least tell you, was $245 million.
There you go. They're in the green by the first weekend.
Domestic was $435 million for Toy Story 4. Worldwide, $1.074 billion. Very similar numbers to 3.
Made more money than people remember 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5's on its way making a good money, but no one will talk about it because there's some bigger shoes to fill.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. So it did actually make more domestic. I was like, damn, those numbers really sound similar. But I guess 3 did make slightly more.
Just that time gap.
Yeah. Slightly. When I'm saying it's like 1.067 billion versus 1.047 billion. Which gets us to 5. Back to a decent size gap, 2019 to 2026 this year. We ended up seeing this movie come out in June 19th. Oh, we did go see it around our anniversary. That's fun. That was dating anniversary, but yeah, we got wedding anniversary now. It's different. Anyway, yeah. So this movie though ended up coming out this year, and I did not actually look up a lot of the production here of how this even came together. I imagine it went a little something like this.
What if we made more money?
What if we made more money? Did you guys see how much money the last one made?
What if we made a similar amount?
We should do that. What's interesting about this movie, though, this is the first one directed by Andrew Stanton, who only did screenwriting treatments on this. We've mentioned this a couple of times. There's a great podcast out there everyone should go listen to right now. But most important to note, Stan kind of was down and out for a little bit. He made this little movie called John Carter, which is like a legendary box office bomb. But the man is pretty creative, pretty smart. He directed Finding Dory, Finding Nemo, Wall-E.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe some of your favorite Pixar movies, in addition to writing basically every Toy Story. So he got a chance to direct this, and this movie broke records for opening weekends and everything, and it's a pretty fun movie overall. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it well. It's really fun. It shows that Woody and Buzz don't necessarily have to be the lead.
Yeah.
I think it shows that they have more characters that they can follow.
I mean, this is very much a Jesse forward movie.
100%. I really like this movie. I think this movie might have some of the best human stuff in it.
Yes.
You know, obviously people, I think, who've seen the marketing, you have Lily Pad, which is a tablet for children, specifically designed for children, so they can kind of, you know, somewhat save. They don't really get into the parental controls, but they can do social media, they can play games, this and that with their friends who are in the pond with them.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonnie deals with some very mean girls in dance.
Very mean
I have
girls.
been told from other girls that dance girls can be like that. And I found the human stuff great, and I found the Jesse stuff great. I don't really have notes for this movie other than it felt small, but I don't know if that's just me getting older.
I think it feels small, yeah, because you're not, and also we've had 4 other installments.
True. Diminishing returns come with sequels.
Well, yeah, because how much more world expansion are you going to do? And the biggest world expansion we get to see in this movie is like these new drone Buzz Lightyears that like crash off, and you see them all on an island at the start.
I'm really mad they are not to scale. You can buy these, but they're like small.
Well, they have to be. They have to be able to fly, right?
Yeah, but do you want me to buy one? Give me the full-size Buzz with the drone attachment, and I'm going to be a happy boy. I've never wanted a drone in my life till I saw that drone.
Oh, my God. I can't wait till you get one, and then we're seeing you fly that thing around.
They'll be in, look out your window, and it'll just be Buzz, like,
With his Ring camera on his head.
Yeah.
No, they finally, they secured it.
mm-hmm.
But I do think there is a lot to like about this movie. I do kind of like that it feels a little small because it does focus on something that feels bigger in that, you know, I just mentioned before, we are dealing with different types of toys. They finally are like, well, what's the biggest toy that everybody's dealing with now? Tech. Like, you know, and it's like you have phones, you have games, you have all this other the pads and all this stuff. And I've seen some of these like real life lily pad type things. Greta Lee, very good choice for the voice of that. She's being introduced in this. Conan as a potty like training toy, like
Just
tech pad.
shooting threes the whole movie.
Conan, great. And he doesn't even sound like Conan. It's like a legitimate surprise to learn that he was in this movie.
I knew because I knew Conan was in it, but it is him doing like a vocal performance, which is very cool.
Yeah. He was an excellent addition to this series. And I think I liked the whole building off of too, of like Jesse dealing with these abandonment issues, and she's starting to feel that from Bonnie because she's been abandoned for this pad. And it brings back this whole thing. She literally goes back to the house of her owner who abandoned her from the second movie. And we see like, oh, maybe she never did completely forget her. It's just, yes, people grow up, but they also never forget who their toys were. And it's a very sweet story. And I love the human connection, like you're saying.
Yeah, they say hurt people will hurt other people, which we've seen, well, toys in 2, 3, and 4. But now we're seeing hurt toys helping other toys in that same hurt, which is a great way to kind of subvert it a little bit.
Yeah.
She has kind of the anti-villain role almost.
Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, somebody, and I think this is such a relatable thing, who has good intentions, who's doing harm to others, right? And trying to dismiss these tech toys that really just are stealing the same kind of abandonment issues and all that.
Yeah. Well, Lily
Stinky
Pad's
Pete-
like the second villain of the movie.
Yeah.
Number 1 is the dance team.
Yeah, for sure. But you did call it out. Like, you know, there's a lot of similar running, and like all these tech toys are feeling the same, like the Conan and
Craig Robinson.
feeling like the abandonment issues that like Stinky Pete, Hans Hug, and Gabby go through of like, why does nobody want to play with me anymore? And they sort of turn them into this like spiteful thing. And yet Conan is just excited to like be powered up again. And it's like, what's his name again? It's like,
I don't know. Rick Flush. I'm just making it up.
Rick Flush. I mean, the fact that he is a potty training toy is hilarious. It's such a good bit.
I liked the animation inserts in this movie. I thought that was fun.
It's it all works, man. It all works. It's Conan. His name is Smarty Pants.
Smarty Pants. Yeah, I have no qualms with this movie. I think it's like when we were talking about her, Nolan, a mild spoiler. how like I look at some movies and I'm like, but it's not really playing with the big enough ideas, and that's what keeps it lower for me compared to the other. But again, I like all these movies.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think you're right. Like the imagination sequences in this are so good. They're so fun. And like if Bonnie marries somebody to each other, they are married in like their reality then. It's just cute, but also, yeah, it plays with the stuff that like, especially being a parent coming up here soon, I am like, okay, I gotta protect my kid from feeling these feelings and knowing the horrors that social media and too much interconnectivity can do, you know, and people who don't have empathy when you don't see somebody face to face. Deals a lot with that. So yeah, I guess we still need to wait on box office because this movie's fresh.
Still making money right now.
Yeah.
It will probably make money up until Doomsday. I would not be surprised if this doesn't stay in theaters through November.
They are predicting this will outgain. In fact, it might have already outgained 4. So it was a $250 million budget. It's already made purportedly $1.096 billion.
People are going back to the movies somewhat.
This has been a big movie year, and I'm loving it. I'm really looking forward to our movies episode because I won't have seen a lot between now and then, but we'll see. Fred, should we show me the franchise though?
Yeah.
Show me the franchise. What have they left on the table here?
2 things.
Go for it.
One is more directly related to the movies would be, is there a way, and it's always theory, and could it be brought into a future installment, the passing down of Woody, potentially from Andy's dad? Is that anything they want to touch or should touch? I don't know.
The original Toy Story?
I don't know. I don't necessarily want a prequel. I just maybe want it to have work with that history. It can be modern. I don't know then how you bring back Andy, because I think Andy and Bonnie are just neighbors.
Yeah.
But I've always found that very interesting and emotional, but I wouldn't want it to be some ham-fisted bullshit.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Because it's interesting that this movie ends without really a definitive ending. We are basically almost accepting that there's going to be a Toy Story 6 at some point. But yeah, I don't know where you go from here. So what's your second thing on top of that? I like that idea.
There should be a Pizza Planet in every city. Okay. That's a lot. There should be a Pizza Planet. What's going on? Everyone
Hut.
wants to go there.
Pizza Hut exists. Domino's exists.
But do you need, I guess you've only seen it once or twice. Do you remember Pizza Planet in the first movie?
Dude, okay, hang on. I've seen Toy Story 1 multiple times.
Okay. That's not a fucking Pizza Hut.
No.
That is like a alien themed, space themed ESPN zone.
Chuck E. Cheese.
But like with the sheen of Ridley Scott's Alien.
Yeah.
With green alien goo that comes out of an alien's mouth at the fountain.
I did love Pizza Planet. That's pretty good.
Like a Pizza Planet that looks like the Pizza Planet in the movie, not just some like facade that has the same name.
Not like a pop-up. You want like the actual like stationary thing?
No, I think people would love the real thing.
I'm just so shocked nothing like that exists at Disneyland or Disney World.
They have a Pizza Planet, but it sucks. It's name only, and they have pizza.
That's not fun. You need all the machines and stuff, the games and all like the features. Yeah. I love that idea. Maybe in advance of Toy Story 6, somebody will get on that.
Mm-hmm.
I do also like the idea of getting into like how Andy got it from his dad, if even though there's just some kind of backstory. Although I kind of suspect we might be through the Andy arc here.
That's what I'm saying. There's really no connection now anymore because it's not like Bonnie's his niece or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they do. Are they going to have to like have them get handed down to another kid, or are they just going to keep going with Bonnie?
Yeah, those are questions I don't know, but the things that I feel are left on the table. That's something that has been rumored and also is intriguing to think about. Like he's a vintage toy.
Yeah,
there's no other person in the household. Like, what was the story there? I mean, obviously it could have been his mom's toy, but I think she would have had some dialogue about
Yeah.
the toy in their interactions.
Or maybe they would have got him like secondhand at like some yard sale or something.
That, you know?
I think what's interesting though, I'm curious how much longer all these actors have left to share, because I think I even read Tim Allen had to do like vocal training to sound younger for this role. And he sounds better than I think he did in 4. But certainly everybody's starting to sound.
They're just using clips of Rickles. Yeah, there's no. I think the guy from the Cajun guy from Waterboy is Jim Varney now.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
they're friends and have very similar voices. But he's got to be up there.
I mean, at this point, like, are we going to even get through 6 or 7? Like, I mean, I think they could maybe do a 6, but 7 feels like it might be reaching. At some point, they got to cut this thing off. Otherwise, Tom Hanks is going to be rolling up in a wheelchair and like.
It'll be a sad day. I'll leave it at this. It'll be a sad day when they make a shitty ass Toy Story. I think it's going to happen because that's what they do now. They just bleed it till it's dry.
Yep, that's true. But yeah, I just don't know what other stories are left. But you know what? I leave it in Pixar's capable hands, even though those guys are all getting pretty old now too, and we'll see what they can come up with. Because I don't really have anything else. I think it would be interesting to see. The biggest swing I think that they could do is turn focus onto completely new toys. It'd be a huge swing. Be like, we're gonna follow Conan and like that group now.
That's a Disney Plus short.
That does feel like that.
I love Conan. I'd watch the shit out of that 30-minute short. But that's not a movie.
Yeah.
But I agree. That is the way. I'm just like, who's left that has depth? Everyone else they've got their games.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Rex movie. Come on, Rex. He's great.
Give Wallace Shawn his day in the sun, man.
Mhm.
Just like My Dinner of Andre, but it's just Rex and like Ham.
Yeah.
Just get him and our guy.
Not
Not Lasseter.
Ratzenberger.
Ratzenberger, yeah. Just them sitting down.
I think Ratzenberger loves Trump, though.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Hey, Normie, if you just, give him a little vote.
Saying the COVID vaccination is actually...
I don't know if y'all know this, but ivermectin, very effective.
You don't want to hear Cliff talk about the coronavirus.
But he would have. That's the Cheers season
Yeah.
we didn't get.
Cheer, that should have been the coulda, woulda, shoulda is Cheers 2020 and just them.
God. I love that in the Toy Story coulda, woulda, shoulda. We did a Cheers. Anything else though we want to say?
No, I'm good.
Let's rank them. We're gonna rank the 5 movies, and then who are you guys? Pick your guy.
Can I throw out an addendum for the guys?
Yeah.
No Buzz or Woody,
Okay. I'm done with that.
right? Because I feel they're easy in the top 3. I mean, you might have had not. I don't know, but I'm just like, it's hard not to put them in there. It's
Sure.
easy to get rid of them.
No, I can do it. Let's do it.
So
All
we're
right.
doing movie first.
Yeah.
Mine's simple.
Okay.
2
Mm-hmm.
is my number 1. 1 is my number 2. 4 is my number 3. 5 is my number 4. And 3 is my number 5.
That is an interesting ranking. But you said you like them all. So
Yeah,
again, I
all
won't jump
movies
down
I
your throat.
like.
I'm going to go like this based on the spirit of only having seen all of these, like I said, once, except for one, which I've watched the shit out of. So that's my number 1, just because that's my personal favorite. I'll go 2, 5, 3, 4.
I respect it.
Mhm.
I respect it.
I think 5 hit with me, recency bias aside. We talked about this recently on a Patreon of recency bias, but I just really liked 5. I vibed with it. And it felt like it's a great companion piece to 2. I can't wait to watch all these again. And then I will completely change my rankings at that point.
Hey,
So, okay, I'll go first
Go
with the
first.
guys. That way you can be the anchor here. So I gotta say, all right, now I gotta pick. I think my number 1, I'm not even gonna just mess around here. It's Forky.
Yeah.
I love Forky. As much as 4, not necessarily my favorite of them all, I love Forky as a great character. I love Tony Hale. 2, boy, Slinky Dog's a hard one to bet against. I do really like Slinky. Jessie. I love Joan Cusack. We've talked a lot about this. I feel like she comes up a lot anytime we get a chance. Jessie's a great character. She's my number 3.
Okay. I do shout out. I'm going to shout out Steve Carell in The Office, who has my favorite thing where he's like, my favorite character of Toy Story is Andy's mom. Because you wouldn't have the rest of Toy Story without Andy's mom. just an all-timer from Michael Scott.
Just one of those guys too. You know, there's people like that shit. Like, oh.
So I'm gonna get Jessie in there because she's maybe the only other, I'm not counting Humans toy, that has had as much depth and like there's more there as Woody and Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to add Forky in there too. I can't help it. He's so funny.
He's so funny.
His little walk. I can just watch him walk. Have you ever watched Forky Ask a Question?
Yeah.
I love that little show.
That's great.
Make more Forky Ask a Question. That's another coulda, woulda, shoulda. And then I'm gonna have to. It's really tied between Mr. Potato Head and Pork Boy. What's his name? Ham. Pork Boy. But I love how Mr. Potato Head is like legit just kind of an asshole and like conniving a little bit, like, and a shit stir from one shit stir to another. I love that. And you know, he doesn't cheat on his wife.
Yeah. That's pretty good. So then you're so those almost like your 3 and your an honorable mention.
Yeah, it's like the 3's tied for 3rd more because it's them together, really.
Yeah,
like,
they are good.
Yeah,
just double the guard.
I do love Mrs. Potato Head a lot. As a shout out, like, and your angry eyes, just in case,
Raymond. You know what? I almost
that's not the right old lady,
isn't it?
No, it's George's mom.
The same. Isn't she? No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
And Doris Roberts and someone else who I should know her name.
Yeah. I know. You're right, though. It is. That's Georgie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right.
Slow down, Woody. I just pictured the doll.
Yeah.
When George is trying to eat.
Yeah. He yells at her. He's like, he snaps. That's such a funny scene.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually, I do love Slinky Dog too. I actually think Rex. I might have to swap them. Slinky might be my honorable. Rex is. I love Rex.
Woody's boys.
Yeah,
they're great. We just gotta say it.
They are. You gotta rep them. So I'll go. Yeah, Jesse, Rex, Forky. I'm trash. Conan might sneak in there depending on what they do with him in the next one. Anything else then on Toy Story, Fred, or did we say it all?
I think we said it all.
No,
we didn't say it all.
Oh,
I can't let you. I can't let you throw yourself away. We didn't talk about that gem
from the Toy Story 2,
the Oscar-winning song.
Oh my god!
I can't get you. That's from the 4.
4?
Yeah, because it's about Forky.
Oh, that's right.
Remember they brought him back. And he's like, I've got the follow-up to You Got a Friend in Me. One of the most emotional, poignant songs. I can't let you. I can't let you. I can't let you throw yourself away. A song that if you listen to it removed, it sounds like you're trying to stop someone from ending their life.
Yeah.
Which is kind of also what it's about in the movie, too.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't even bring that to mind, but it sounds hilarious because it's Randy Newman. I can't let you. You know what else we didn't bring up too, and I don't know if it's worth it. The spinoffs, which
they're fun.
They're fine.
I think that's really the great place for those side characters who don't have their own movie.
Yeah.
Like like I said, I love Forky Ask a Question.
What about Lightyear though, the movie?
No, we don't have to talk about that.
I just don't feel like it doesn't feel right in this space.
No. It does have time dilation though, much like Interstellar.
Ooh. I just don't think we needed a movie to inspire one of the toys based on a real dude. Like that. That's not the next beat of that story, in my opinion.
I was into the concept of what I thought it was, which was going to be a fun action Buzz Lightyear movie in space that doesn't make you think that much. It's just a good time, and it's a sci-fi Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Which is I thought it was going to be like Star Command, the animated series kind of, and we were going to have Zurg, and they did the thing where it's like Zurg's at the end. I wanted to see the aliens from the claw machine in like an alien sci-fi movie. You know, like there was a movie there. They just didn't do the movie they should have done.
Yeah. I 100% hear you. What a weird idea for a story. I think that's all we have to say about Lightyear and Toy Story in general.
That's all I have to say about that.
That's all.
Thanks.
Now it even works a little bit better. That's all I have to say about that. Fred, before we go, anything you'd like to plug?
I don't know when this drops, but I am just gonna rep. If you're listening to this in August, the last Friday of August, I believe it's the 28th or the 27th, whatever that Friday is. Improv, the movie, the sequel at Interchange Theater. Check out interchangetheater.com for tickets. If you love movies like Toy Story, big blockbusters, come watch us do a 35 minute improvised blockbuster right in front of your face. Tom saw it.
I did.
He thought it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really fun idea for a show.
We were working with a pretty mild, thin audience too.
Yeah.
Good audience because it was you guys, but I think we did pretty good for what we had going.
I agree. I thought you guys had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun watching it.
We had a lot of fun.
No, but I think it makes it more fun when you know the people on stage are having a good time. If you enjoyed this episode, though, you should remember to rate and review it. And then you should go check out Fred's show on Friday, August 28th. I'm just kind of weaving in a couple things together as I'm going here. Interchangetheater.com for more details on that. So yeah, rate and review this episode. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and YouTube. Join our Patreon for just $2 per month. You can get exclusive bonus content. Our most recent episode was on Christopher Nolan movie rankings. We've referenced it multiple times. You should go check that out. Coming up, we might be cooking up a little bit something. We'll see what's going on there. Special thanks to Nick Spitza and Mike Schwantz for opening and closing theme songs. And stay tuned for next time where, I don't know, there might be a little bit of music to your ears. That's all we'll say about that for now. Fred, we had a good time. I hope you all had a good time too. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I got no cares, 'cause all I wanna do is charge my phone and drive listening to you. And what they talk about will always be up to you.
I was early.